Listen to Michael. Man in the mirror. Full self-driving beta. We are testing out 11.4.4, 2320.7.20. I'm sorry, 2023.7.20. Nice, Nick. Same as before. Playing the music because we don't care about copyright. We don't care about clicks and money and all that. Well, we care about money, but we're not doing this for the money. We're doing it to just show videos. Today, we are going to be taking a drive, testing out full self-driving beta to get our lawnmower blade sharpened. I can make an entire video on the importance of keeping a sharp mower blade. Might be a little off topic for testing full self-driving, but it is very important. So here we go. I am driving manually at the moment, and I'm gonna check audio levels and see if this camera is stable. Let's just go ahead and get into it. It has to actually accept my request here. So you double click. There we go. We are in beta. And as we know from other videos, the solid blue line here is when the robot is driving. Anything else is when I'm driving. So we'll try to have the robot driving as much as possible to give a honest take, the good and the bad. The software is very far from perfect. I would not put my kids in here with no steering wheel and with me not in the car, not even remotely close. But perfect is not the enemy of good. It is still very good. It's driving itself using its eyes. Right here, we're gonna have a disengagement, typical of this area. Actually, well, so it's slowing down, and I thought for a second it was because of the railroad tracks, but it's because our speed limit sign just kicked in, so it kicked us down to a 25. Here's the disengagement. Disengaged to slow down properly for railroad tracks. This is one of my biggest pet peeves. Urgent. Disengagement for railroad tracks. Urgent. Thank you. So what you heard right there is my recording that I just sent to the autopilot team. And I think I definitely missed a turn there. So we're going to stay in manual, make our turn. Definitely don't know where I'm going. Okay. Put her back in the robot. But what you heard there was how I report to the full self-driving beta team, how all of us report to them. We press a button and we can send a 10-second audio clip. And I try to hit on a few keywords like urgent and railroad tracks. I'm glad we went this way because it's going to have us take an unprotected left here. We're at this stop sign and should not be too terribly hard of a turn. Oh, we got a car coming. Let's make sure that we don't flip out, robot. All right. So the robot saw this car approaching from our left and waited. That's simple stuff. Okay. Easy little left. But yeah, still disappointing that it's to be expected, but the car does not slow for the railroad tracks. That's just a little disappointing. Railroad tracks, potholes, and roadkill are my main disengagements at this point. I very rarely have to disengage for safety reasons, although it is possible for sure. There's actually a left-hand turn up here in one of my other videos that I had to disengage for safety. I think it was trying to like smoke a red light if I remember correctly. That said, it's much more common to disengage to avoid roadkill or a pothole or a railroad track. So kudos to the Tesla team for that. But yeah, this is, pretty basic stuff to recognize railroad tracks are coming up and slow down. I mean, a human being is going to do that on day one. You take a 15-year-old out with their learner's permit, and on day one, oh, okay, there we go. Horribly urgent. What was that? Urgent. The car just tried to make a random right off our course when we're just going straight for 6 miles. That was urgent and horrible. Thank you. Okay, there you go. So, trying to be polite. I don't want the engineers that get this to take it personally, but that was terrible. I just got done talking about how I rarely disengage for safety, but I don't know what the car saw there. It if you can see here, we're going in a straight line for 5.7 miles. It was 6 miles at the time. So that the fact that it thought that it needed to switch lanes, to turn, to do whatever, very bad. Very bad. That's one of the worst disengagements we've had. Dan, I'm sure you're going to be watching this and loving it. Feel free to use it. Skip over all the good stuff that the software does and just cherry pick that one clip. That'll be a really good way to be intellectually dishonest and disingenuous. Is just cherry pick that one clip. Of course, if the car would have turned or hit that other vehicle or done anything else, I would have been at fault. Not Tesla, not Elon Musk, no one else on Elon's team, not the vehicle itself. Vehicles are inanimate objects, but me, the person who agreed as a beta tester to be in control at all times, because the car could do the worst thing at the wrong time. That was pretty close. That was pretty much the worst thing and pretty close to the wrong time. So that one will make the highlight reel or low light reel, whatever the opposite of a highlight reel is. Let's see what we got jamming here. So you got a lovely tour here of southern Delaware County in central Ohio, as we've got about another 8 minutes on our drive. And I would say that I don't expect it to be eventful. I might even have cut off the video if not for the disengagement a moment ago, because the car literally flipped out and tried to make a random right into a neighborhood. I don't think it was trying to turn into another car, but there was another car there. So I really just don't know what the software was doing there. That one needs to be flagged. Let's see if we can get get a good view here. Get a look at what our cameras are visualizing, what they're showing us. This space that we're seeing here is what the car with its cameras as eyes and insanely fast processing power as a brain is visualizing. It's creating this world itself, which I don't know if I'll ever not find that to just be really cool, really remarkable. It's like people who live in the mountains. You know, do you ever get sick of the mountains? People I've talked to who live near mountains say no. They're always just breathtaking, and when you look at them, it just blows you away. That's kind of how I feel about the robot driving me around. Even though it makes mistakes, doesn't mean it's not just absolutely spectacular that a bunch of computer code could be doing this. Of course, we ourselves as human beings are most likely a bunch of computer code, so there's that. Let's see what else we got here. Is there a glare on my screen? It does look like a bit of a glare, yeah. Can't do anything about that. It's the sun, giant ball of nuclear fission, fusion, one of those. I feel like I should know that. Let's take a guess. Let's be confident here. We got a 50% chance of being right. Go fusion. We'll go fusion. Final answer. I have no idea. I'm sure somebody at some point in life is going to tell me how dumb I am. And when it comes to the sun, yeah, I'm definitely not an expert on the big star that is the sustainer of all life on this planet. Ah, what a song. I mean, could there be a more appropriate song to come up on random when I'm randomly babbling about the sun? I don't think there could. So churches who absolutely rock came to Columbus. God, I can't even. I want to say 2012, 2013 at the latest, because I met my bride in 2013. I guess it could have been 2014 now that I think of it, and maybe my future wife wasn't with me at the show, but churches came to Columbus and played what was, we used to know it as Promo West Pavilion, and it was LC Outdoors. I don't even know what it's called now. It was probably Promo West Pavilion at the time, and they played a show in the rain in like a summer thunderstorm that was one of my favorite shows of all time. It was absolutely incredible. I think Lauren Mayberry maybe said it was the biggest show they'd ever played at the time, which definitely isn't true at this point. They were still, fairly new on the scene, and yeah, I think she actually was in love with me at one point. Back when I was young and single, and I had to let her know that I'd already met somebody. It was before I got married, of course. But yeah, I always respected her as an artist and an intellectual, and the band is just incredible music. Big fan. We'll let churches take us home for the last mile. Beautiful tour of central Delaware County. Lots and lots of this around here, farmland. All future neighborhoods in the next 10, 20, 50 years. There will be a lot less farmland and a lot more neighborhoods. Jeff Bezos, if you're watching, I'm happy to help walk you through buying a bunch of property up here. So we've got to turn in about a mile, and it looks like our destination then will just be right down the road. So glad we made this video, because it caught that horrible disengagement, and as much as I don't want there to be disengagements, it's good to catch these things now as beta testers and try to figure out what the problem was, then get rid of them. Havener Deer Haven Park. Interesting. All right, I don't think I've ever been to this park. But yeah, that one was a weird one where we had a straight line for 6 miles on a straight road, and the robot wanted to make a random right. And that's why, as beta testers and other beta testers who are watching this, please remember, keep your hands on the wheel, man. It's not, I know a lot of you guys, I watch your videos, and you want to have your hands down here on your lap or whatever, just so if you can't see in the video right now, my left hand is actually on the wheel. It's not that difficult. Speaking of not that difficult, here's a right-hand turn. Should be pretty simple stuff for the robot. But yeah, keep a hand on the wheel, and that way, even though you're just monitoring and maybe, not doing as much as you would normally do, your hand is on the wheel, that it's going to prevent it from jerking like it did for me, just randomly jerking to the right. If you don't have a hand on the wheel, there's that extra split second of having to try to grab it or whatever, and it really makes a difference. So yeah, keep a hand on the wheel. Plus, you agreed when you signed up to be a beta tester, you told Tesla you would do that, so do it. We're coming up to our destination in about a half mile. Very excited about this. I've heard a lot about this place. I've never actually been here, but they do blade sharpening, and I just need to get my lawnmower blade sharpened. So took the blade off, brought it up. Semi-pro tip: when you do something like that, secure the blade. Mine, I literally just put in the back trunk under the mat. Worst case scenario, you get hit, you get into an accident. It would suck to survive the accident only to get killed by your lawnmower blade going flying through the air. That would really just be terrible and ironic. Okay, we're gonna come out of beta because I don't actually know. Is this it? Is this our spot? Yard tool sharpened. Here we go. All right, we made it. We have one bad disengagement. We're gonna see what the engineers think about it. We appreciate you watching, and maybe I'll make a video on the way home, see how that goes. Thanks again.